Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, wa salatu wa salamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursaleen, Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam, tasliman kathiran kathira. Amma ba'du, we look at the rules of Islamic parenting. I call them the 6 rules. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us to understand the responsibility of parenting and to fulfill it. Yeah. And after we finish, we'll have those of you who are interested, if you want to ask any questions, you can write on the slips. They'll give you slips of paper, write the question and send it to me, inshallah. So we're talking about life skills, and as I mentioned to you, these are some life skills. One of the most important ones, number 3, is the daily account, the muhasiba, and the learning journal. The learning journal is a interesting tool that I teach people, which is, what you do is you take, again, your notebook, you do it in this sequence. First of all, what you do is, in the notebook, you write down 3 goals for tomorrow. Every night, you write down 3 goals for tomorrow in order of priority, and the priority has to be in keeping with your life goal. So you are achieving these 3, you're working on these 3 goals to achieve the overall goal, so life goal. So first you have to begin with writing down the life goal, and then going from there to writing every day 3 goals in order of priority, which will help you to achieve your life goal. Then following day, your day unfolds or unravels, whichever way you want to get it. And then at the end of the day, you sit down, you open the book, and the book are the 3 goals you had written for the day. Now you analyze these 3 goals and say, did I achieve it, did I not achieve it, what helped me to achieve, what hindered my achievement, and what are my learning lessons from that. Therefore, what did I learn with regard to achieving the goals? So that you write down in a notebook, what happened, your reflection on it, why did it happen, what did I learn? 3 columns. What happened, why did it happen, what are my learnings? 3 columns. Right? That is called the learning journal. This is very important, and I strongly recommend that you start writing this. It's not a diary. It's not like, every day in the morning I woke up at 8 o'clock, I had breakfast, I ate this thing for breakfast, and this is only focusing on your learning. What are my learnings? This is what I experienced. This is my reflection on my experience, and this is what I take away from that. Believe me, you start writing this, you will learn a hell of a lot. Because all of us go through life, we have experience after experience after experience, but we all don't benefit the same from those experiences. Some benefit more, some benefit less. That has to do with the quality of the learning. And the quality of the learning, to improve it, this is the way, which is to write a learning journal. I spoke to you already about friends, so I won't repeat that. This is a very nice quote, which is not one of mine, somebody else said it, but beautiful, which says that we must all suffer from one of 2 things: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. We must all suffer from one of 2 things: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And the truth of it is that excuses don't change reality. So if you did not do something which you are supposed to do, or you did something which you are not supposed to do, and you make an excuse, it does not change the fact that you did something wrong. Right? If I lose something, for example, this is one of the amazing things, that we give up the biggest asset that we have. The only non-creatable, non-irreplaceable asset, which is called what? Time. Time. We give it up for nothing. We give it up for nothing, and the people who take it from us are making humongous amounts of money because we are giving up our life. Right? They have access to your most private parts of your life, and you can't sue them because you gave them that access. If they had got that access without your permission, you could have actually sued them for invasion of privacy. But you cannot sue them because you are putting it out there. Who is posting on Instagram? You or Zuckerberg? Who is posting on Facebook? You or Zuckerberg? I went here, I ate this, I did that, I did this, so-and-so said this. Who is doing all this? You or them? Somebody else. And people are making money out of that. Because that is how, at the most benign level, believe me, there are levels and levels of that. And not all the levels are benign. There are some very dangerous things. But at the most benign level, they are getting your likes, they are getting your things that you like to do, and so on, and then they send you targeted ads, and the ad companies are paying it. And the manufacturers and the producers, content creators, they are paying them for giving them that access and giving them that guidance to targeted advertisements. They're making enormous amounts of money because of you. Because you watch them. How do the so-called influencers, how do they function? Why are people paying them, millions of dollars every year for simply living their lives? So-and-so wears this shoe. They get the shoe for free, plus they get, a couple of $1,000,000. They go and eat in that restaurant. Why? Because of you. Because of you. You stop watching them, their stock bombs, plummets. They have value because you give it to them for free, and that is your life. Irreplaceable. I always give this example. It is not going to happen to any of us, believe me, but just to understand. Say it is my time when I am dying. Right? I am dying, last breaths. And Malakul Maut comes to me and says to me that I am willing to give you as much time as you spent on. Now in this blank you can put in whatever you do. Watching basketball, watching football, watching cricket, this World Cup, that World Cup, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, you can name whatever you like, fill the blank. So Malakul Maut is saying to you, I will give you this that time you to spend on this, I'll give it to you. How much will you pay me? What will you give? Tell me, what will you be willing to pay? How much? Everything, right? Everything. Because you're going to lose it anyway. What does it matter? You take everything. Take everything, take also everything from my whole family, if you like. Take everything from all the people in the masjid. Who cares? Right? But that won't happen, right? That won't happen. And what's the value of that? The value of that is that you would have had a chance to make istighfar and tawbah, to read Quran, to read salah, and so on and so on and so on, and inshallah die in that state of obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But that won't happen. But the tragedy is that today we have that time for free. Nobody is asking us for anything. At this time we are giving away. Again, research data shows us that on an average, a person spends 4 to 6 hours on social media every day. What you spend 6 hours on is called a job, for which you are paid a salary. Right? So who's paying you? Giving it away, free. That's why I said, get out. Unsubscribe, uninstall, do whatever you want to do, get out. That's the only solution. There's no other. Don't say, no, I'll have it there, I won't look at it. No. That's the whole thing about addiction. Addiction is where the addict does not recognize the fact that he's addicted. Same thing, whether it's alcoholism, whether it's cigarettes, whether it's drugs, whatever it is, addiction is where you are a prisoner. And there's only one way to free yourself, is to break out of the prison. You cannot say, no, I'll be in the prison, but I'll be free. No. It's one of two things. You are either in the prison or you're out of the prison. One of the two. You can't be in the prison and be free, no. Get out. Seriously, get out. And then you will see how much time you have. It will be difficult, like any addiction. When you get out, you will feel uncomfortable and so on. FOMO, fear of missing out, this, that. Just forget it. That's why I said remove the whole thing. Once you remove it, you can't go back to it. It's not easy, again to go resubscribe and whatnot. But if you have it there on the phone, then and this, believe me, this will not affect you one bit, neither your business nor anything. People can talk, they can call you, they can talk to you, they can send you emails, they can write you letters. There are many ways of communicating, all of which are much better than this stuff which we do. The best way of communicating is talk face to face. That's how you make friends. Do that, do all those things. Part of this life skill is to teach your children to own their job. One of the greatest mistakes, may Allah have mercy on us, people do all kinds of completely stupid things. Parents do school projects for children, especially mothers, may Allah have mercy on them. So the child is playing somewhere, you are doing the school project. For what? You don't want the child to learn? Now with AI, recently someone told me in the US, one of my university professor friends, he said, people are using AI to submit their thesis. So he said, we have created a model which detects that, so catches that. And he said, then somebody wrote a program which nullifies this. It's like a game. And that's why somebody sent me one, some quote on WhatsApp. He said, take care of your health because your doctor is using AI to get his degree. Right? He doesn't know medicine. He's got ChatGPT, is writing an exam for him. Really, just imagine how tragic that is. How tragic it is that you will go to university, you will pay thousands of dollars worth of money, you will be there physically for, AI won't sit there for you, you got to go sit there, so I attend classes for whatever number of years, 3, 4, 5, 6, and at the end of that you know nothing. You actually don't know anything. And even the actual genuine sense of victory. So, alhamdulillah, I worked for this degree, I worked for this PhD, I worked for this master's. I studied, I did all this and I got it, now I feel so happy, I feel a sense of achievement. It's not there. It is not there because you didn't do it. Somebody did it for you. I was at one university, I won't name the place and so on and so forth, but I was there at this university and one of the professors told me, students pay us to write their thesis. So I said, do you do it? He said, yeah. I said, that's terrible. I mean, He tells me, Yawar Sahib, the money they pay us? He said, that student pays me more money to write that thesis than I will make in the whole year in the university. He said, what is it to me? He wants to go out of here, Jahil, let him go. I mean, that is dishonest. I'm not promoting that. I think this is nonsense. But I'm saying, this is what AI is doing for you. You put a prompt and ChatGPT writes the whole thing and you submit it and some guy accepts it. You have learned nothing. So you are okay with spending all those years of your life and paying that fee and going every day to the class and whatnot, and at the end of that you got nothing for it. Doesn't make sense. People are doing that. So many places now they've come back to square one, which is you will write your essays by hand. Nothing, no AI, no computer. Sit down and write by hand. Please, don't do school projects. Reading, inculcate this habit every single day. I say to people, you must read at least one book. I say one book per week, but okay, so let me be, kind on you. One book per month, at least, minimum. I don't care what book you read any book you like, but one book per month, make this an absolute rule for yourself. And then increase it, 2 books, 3 books, 4 books, at least one. And inculcate it in the children. My father, again, I'm sorry, I keep on coming back to my father, but this is a parenting thing, so I should be. He used to read 3 books at a time. I do the same thing. 3 different plots, one will be a history book, one will be something else. And I can run those things in my head simultaneously. Alhamdulillah, it's very good for the brain. He did that. What he would do is he would bring the books to me, he would give me a book. And then he would come the next day, or maybe give me a day, so the third day. And he would say, oh, Pade, did you read the book? I say, you just gave it to me. He said, 2 days have passed. What is just gave? So I read the book. So he then tells me, what do you think? So I start telling him, the author is saying, no, I'm not asking you what the author is saying. I know what the author said. I read the book before I gave it to you. I want to know what you are saying. Huh? So don't regurgitate the stuff to me. Oh, the author said, forget the author. What are you saying? You read the book, what is your take on this? So I routinely read books, I do an analysis of the book, I write it down. I write down key points that I need to remember. And that helps me in my understanding of life and so on and so forth, and in my own writing, which I do. Right? And then, respect for law and order, respect for duty. I don't know, some of you may have seen this thing of people saying, my 10-year-old drives a car beautifully. Why does your 10-year-old drive a car? Beautifully or otherwise? You're breaking a law. You're teaching a child to break the law. A parent do this very proudly. You're teaching a child to break the law. In Islam, some of our ulama have said that if you break a law of a country which is for the benefit of all the people, you have exited Islam. You are a murtad. Even if you don't want to go that far, definitely in Islam it is a crime. It is a very major sin. So for example, you go through a red light. Nowadays, of course, there are cameras everywhere, so we fear the camera. We don't fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala seeing us, we fear the camera. Because then they'll send you a very expensive photograph, right? Going through a red light. This is, in Islam, this is haram, because you can cause an accident. The laws, you might say, well, where is the law in the Sharia to say red light? No, the law doesn't have to be there. The Sharia allows laws to be made for the benefit of all people. Traffic laws are such laws, and others. So teach them a respect for law and give responsibility. It is very, very important to give children responsibility. Give them daily chores. Each person has a role to do. Your job is wash the dishes, your job is do this, do that, whatever. And don't say, no, why should my child wash dishes? We have servants. No. Teach them dignity of labor. Once again, back to my father. Every Sunday, we had a ritual in our house, and that was all the shoes would be brought. We'd all sit in a line. Brown shoes, black shoes, and those days we used to, all these sneakers and stuff we didn't have. We wore canvas shoes, and the canvas shoes had to be white. So for white you had that lime which you rubbed on it. So black shoe with black polish application brush, and then black polish shining brush, and then brown polish and this. And my father used to sit there, and we all used to sit, each one with their shoes, and we would polish our own shoes. As I told you, we had servants. No, you do your own job. So you apply the polish with the brush, you brush it with that, then you hold the shoe between your knees, and you take a polishing cloth and you rub it like this. Yeah, you would have seen the films, or those of you who are from Bombay, you see on Bombay railway stations. I know how to do that whole ritual. You shine the shoe until you can see your face in it. Very, very shiny. We have to do this. It's part of growing up. You do your job. I loved pets. I had all kinds of pets. Our servants had clear instructions. His pets he will take care of. I had very clear instructions. You will not tell a servant to do anything for your pets. Clean the cages, clean wherever they say, the kennels or whatnot. Cook the food. I used to go to the market. I used to get I had dogs. In those days, we had a huge big compounds with dogs outside the house. So I used to go buy the meat and buy jawar, the millet. And my mother won't allow it inside the kitchen, so I had to cook outside on 3 stones. So I used to cook that, cool it down, then feed them. Brushing them, washing them, everything to do with the pets, nobody will touch it. My job to do it. One of the dogs decided to have babies. I sat and delivered 6 pups at 2 o'clock in the night. That's a whole long story. I won't go into it now, but the point I'm making is that this is how you raise children who have a sense of responsibility. It's your job. Alhamdulillah, I had, may Allah bless my parents and give them Jannatul Firdaus without hisab. Wonderful parents and also mentors. I'll tell you a story. One of my mentors, Raja Venkatrama Reddy, he had a farm in a place called Adilabad, on the bank of the Kadam river. So I used to go there. My summer and winter holiday I would spend there. And in those days, I'm talking about the late 60s, early 70s. So those days hunting was permitted in India, so I used to do a lot of hunting. So I would go into the forest. I used to have one guy with me, one Gond tribal guy called Shivaya, who was my good friend and also a, sort of partner for all this. So Shivaya would carry one gun, I would carry another gun. We would go into the forest and we would hunt. So one day, Shivaya and I, we walked and walked and walked and walked. I don't know how many miles we walked. We walked the whole day in the forest, got nothing. Now coming back in the night, in the evening, almost getting dark. As I came over a hill, I see a cheetah, a spotted deer, axis, big antlers standing straight in front. Now, purely reflex action, I picked up the rifle and fired. The bullet went straight through here in the chest, and the thing with high velocity weapons, if you don't hit any bone anywhere, you don't break the spine or you don't hit a major bone, the bullet just goes straight through the animal. It will still kill it, but it won't drop. That's what happened to the deer. The bullet went straight through. That cheetah he just went boom, and then he turned around, ran away, and disappeared. So now Shiva and I, we walked, tried to find it. It's getting dark. It got dark. All I saw was some blood, and from the blood I could make out it was lung blood because it's frothy and it is white. It is very light colored. So I knew the bullet had gone through the lungs. So this deer is going to die, but can't find it. In the dark, forest became light, night fell, gone. So anyway, we said, let's go home. So we came. Now coming home from where I shot the deer, we have to cross a river, then you go on to the top, and that's where the house is. I went there. When I got there, Uncle Rama tells me, "Kya mare na?" He said, "What did you shoot?" Because he heard the gunshot. So I said, "I shot a cheetal stag." He said, "Oh, mashallah, very good, very good. Where is it?" So I said, "No, Uncle Rama, it ran away." He tells me, "You are telling me that you left a wounded animal in the forest and you are here?" I was 17 years old when this happened. And by the time this conversation is happening, it's around maybe 10 o'clock in the night. Right? I've been walking all day. I'm tired like hell. He tells me, "You are telling me that you wounded an animal, left a wounded animal in the forest, and you are here?" Now, we had enough respect and adab and so on, so you didn't answer back. I kept quiet. He tells me, "Aap khana khao, and then go and get the animal." Adilabad jungles have tigers, they have leopards, they have bears, they have bison. And I'm a 17-year-old kid. I didn't have the guts to tell him, "You are sending me into the forest in the middle of the night," little middle of the night. No. He said, "Aap khana khao, and then go." I said, "Okay." So I had my dinner. And then I picked up the rifle. He said, "No." He called his servant. He said, "Oh, get the shotgun." So he gave me a 12-bore shotgun with buckshot. He said, "Anything you see now, you will see close up. So I don't want you taking aim through telescopic sights and stuff. If you have to shoot fast. No compromise." He said, "If you shoot something, you bring it back. If you don't bring it back, you don't come back, period." This is the way I was taught responsibility. You take ownership for your work. So Shiva and me, back into the forest. We went into the forest, pitch dark night. So we knew you're not going to get anything. So we said, let's stay in one place till at least we get some light, some dawn comes. So we kind of slept whichever way we could sleep. Then once the dawn came, then went to the goat's village, got some pie dogs, the regular our country dogs. We got the dogs, sent it. About 200 meters from where I shot the deer, it was there. There was a little ravine, it fell into that. We found it. Teaching responsibility is very, very important. Imagine, this is not my father, he's my father's friend. But Responsible. You are here for a holiday, yes, nice, have fun, but there are rules. You can't just do whatever you want. If you are going to act in a certain way, if you are driving a car, you are an adult. If you are firing a rifle, you are an adult. We will treat you like an adult. No tamasha with that. You must know how to shoot. You must know how to handle a weapon safely. Right? This is how you raise children. And very, very important, as I've said here, don't use children as pawns in your politics. Never contradict each other before your children. I'm talking about the parents. The father don't complain about the mother to the child. The mother don't complain about the father to the child. Never. Always uphold that. It's very important. Don't use the children as pawns in your politics. Don't have politics in the first place, but even if you have it, sort yourself out. But in front of the children, must be one. Then again, ownership and responsibility, teamwork. No competition between siblings. My specialization is family business consulting. I advise founders and family business owners in running their businesses, running their families, conflict resolution, succession planning. I am sounding board to boards, and so forth. This is my regular work. And many times, when I look at conflicts in families, I can tell you where that conflict started. Conflict between brothers. You know where it starts? It starts at age 2 and age 3 in the nursery. You know how it starts? There is one toy, whatever it is. One kid grabs it. The other one wants it, this one won't give it. And what is the parental response? Don't worry, I'll get you your own. It's not to say share it, no. Don't worry, I'll get you your own. Fast forward 40 years, that toy is your factory. That toy is your company. That toy is your business. And they are fighting. You train them. You train them not to cooperate. You train them not to collaborate. You train them not to share. I want my own. You're going to split the company. You're going to split your father, your grandfather, build a whole business. You're going to smash it because I want my why. That's how I'm trained. Same father, grandfather trained me like this. Not consciously, but this is what happens. So teach them to collaborate. No competition between siblings. In the early 80s, I used to be in Bangalore, and I used to learn Aikido, which is a martial art, and my Aikido teacher was an Australian gentleman called Julius Abe. Now, Julius at that time, he had, I think if I'm not mistaken, he had a son who was about 3 and daughter was 2. Something like this. I don't know which one was, either one was older by a year. So Julius tells me an interesting story. He said in our home, my wife and I sleep in one bedroom, and across the hallway, the children sleep in the other bedroom. So the door is open, we can hear them, they can hear us, but we don't believe in the children sleeping in our bed, so they sleep in their own room, in their bed, we are in this bed. He said every morning, the 2 kids, they wake up, they come running into our room, and they wrestle with me on the bed, with the father. He says, if they come to me one by one, each one, I always make sure that they lose. So the father will put the kid down. He said, when they come together, I fall down. Imagine the powerful lesson he's teaching them. He's not telling them anything. It's all fun, it's all games, there's no one actually fall. He says, if they come to me one by one, they fall down. If they join together, he doesn't even tell them you should join. Nothing, let them figure it out. They'll figure it out. They know, kids are very smart, believe me. They join together and come. He said, I always fall down. I make sure they always have the winning experience. That's how you train them. Never take sides between children. No favoritism. We have an example of that even in the Quran. I'm not criticizing the Nabi alayhi salatu salam, but Surah Yusuf. Yeah, again, we don't criticize the Anbiya, but the story is about what? Is about some of the siblings feeling jealous about the others, because we are not saying that Yaqub alayhi salam did that daily, but the brothers feel that he loves them more than us. So to the extent possible, and now I'm not saying love everybody equally. No, you don't. I mean, this is a personal likes and dislikes. Some children, but make sure that you at least don't express that. Then encourage volunteering is very, very important. It's something which I tell you, as Muslims, this is something we really must make an effort. You must see the number of committees and number of volunteering work that is done. As I'm saying, I live in America. I'll give an example. One of my friends is a rabbi. He runs an organization called the Jewish Family Services in West Springfield. They bring in refugees from other countries and they settle them in the US. Guess which religious group is their largest customers? Muslims, right? And they do it all for free. They get funding from the government, they do it for free. Anyway, so his name is James Green. So I asked James one day, I said, he was talking about his family. So he said, we have 2 daughters and we have 2 foster sons. So I said, you are doing fostering? He said, yes. He said, my wife and I were registered as foster parents. So people, the orphans and people like that, refugee children, they send them to us, they live with us as our children in our home. He says, we have 2 foster children and both of them are boys and both of them they have problems. So one has a drug problem, the other one has a stealing problem, kleptomania. Now I'm thinking to myself, what is wrong with this guy? Why on earth would you become a foster parent? And on top of that, you take some druggy kid or something to look after. Why? You're mad or something? You're insane? He's not insane. He's a very sensible human being. He's concerned. Then he tells me, one day, and this whole conversation started because he had a pager in his pocket. We were going for a walk. He had a pager beeped. So he looked at it, he said, no, it's not my call. So I asked him, what is this? And that's how the whole conversation started. So he tells me this. He said, then one day, this kid who was, this kid meaning that is, he's about maybe 17 or 16 or 17. Under 18, so it's still, foster parenting. So this kid, he said, he broke into our safe. Right? And he stole some money and he stole some stuff which is in the safe. So he said, we had to call the police. We called the police. And he says, to my surprise, when the police and the first responders, they came, he said, they were all my neighbors. So then I realized that in our town, the fire service and the police service is volunteers, which is our own people who live in the town. They volunteer so many hours a week for the police force. So then they put on a police uniform, they are trained, they are certified as police officers, they put on a police uniform and then they are driving cruising cruise cars and then doing police work, or they are on ambulances, or they are on fire engines, right? He said, that is when I decided to do that also. So this guy is a rabbi, he has his own synagogue to run, he has Jewish family services to run, plus now he volunteers to be on the first responders team. So he's riding on an ambulance. He got trained, he did a whole course for a year and a half, he passed this whole course and so on. He's doing this work, all of it for nothing. Volunteering. No salary. No monetary compensation. Now imagine the goodwill that gets you. That's my point. Somebody's house is burning down, some disaster is happening. Who lands up there? This guy. Imagine the goodwill he gets. Right? So people associate help with this person. But believe me, you have to hunt high and low to find a Muslim doing this kind of work. Almost zero. And I'm saying almost because maybe there is somebody I don't know, but at least I don't know anybody. No one. We won't volunteer. We will not volunteer. We will not get out of our comfort zones. We will not even volunteer for Muslim children. Refugee children come who are orphans and they go into foster homes with other people of other religions. Now, having said that, I have never seen a case where those people have converted that Muslim kid. They have not. They make it a point. They bring them to the masjid. I get called and say, Sheikh, we have Imam Baig. They say Imam Baig. I said, we have got only 4 imams. So you see, but in America everybody is an imam. So you say, Imam Baig, can we bring so and so? Yeah, sure, please bring. Who is this? He said, no, he's not a revert. This is a foster child who is with us. And so you bring them. They'll bring them for the Jummah. He's there for a whole hour. That foster mother or father is sitting in the car. Say, please come inside. You come. Most welcome. We'll give. No, we are okay here. We'll sit. They bring them for the salah. They take them back. I mean, quite amazing, frankly, if you ask me. But I'm saying, why are Muslims not doing that? Why don't we do these things? Please teach children this and set an example. All of these things, an example. That's why I say children listen with their eyes. They listen with their eyes. They don't care what we say until they see what we do. Teach children the difference between value and cost. Value is something which is more than what you pay for it. And cost is something where you paid more than what you got. So that's why they say value people and use things, not use people and value things. That's why I say cost, accumulate value, not cost. Possessions add cost, not value. Teach them also the value of money. They must know what is money, they must know how money works, they must know the halal and haram of money. They must understand the money is difficult to earn, it's not easy, it's easy to lose. Everything that they ask for, don't give. Tell them, I want a phone, okay, sure. What does it cost? So much. How long will it take you to earn that money? What are you willing to do to earn that money? I'll give you a phone. Not now. Earn it. What is the cost of the phone? So much. So I will pay you. How long will you need? Pay them a good salary, but give them a job. Complete this job. When you have the money, come, I'll give you the phone. You're not going to get it just like that. I want it. You may want it. Huh? I'm just saying phone because that's the usual thing, but everything other than necessities. So school fees and the clothing, all this is fine, you can give it. But any luxuries, anything they want, I want this, I want that, no. This is what it costs, you're going to work for it. That will show them the value of work. That will show them the worth of something. The father is not an ATM machine and the mother is not the card. Right? And very important, teach charity. Teach them to invest in their akhirah. Charity is not money out of the pocket. Charity is money into my akhirah. At the end of the day, it's my, from this pocket to this pocket, right? From dunya to akhirah. You're not giving it to anybody. It's for yourself. Number 5, communication. Lot of stuff to learn in communication, but very important. Number 1 begins with not with talking but with listening. Active listening, consciously sharing your understanding with the other person. That's called active listening. Taking notes, then how to have conversations, conversation skills, public speaking, presentation skills, conflict resolution. Very important, how to get along with people, how to disagree without being disagreeable, how not to be rude, how to be interesting. How can you be interesting? By learning, by studying. If you want to have an interesting conversation, you must know something, right? How to do that? By studying, by reading. Getting along with people, John Rockefeller, he said a wonderful thing. He said, I will pay more for the ability to get along with people than I will pay for any other ability under the sun. He said, I will pay more for the ability to get along with people than I will pay for any other ability under the sun. I have seen, you won't believe it, I have a number of people I have seen who are not geniuses, who are not, exceptional people. They're nice people, but average. They get so high up in careers. They do so well in their jobs. They do so well in society. They're so influential. Only because they have a smile, they are polite, they are helpful, they thank people. They're just nice people. And they're easy to get along with. They get a lot of bandwidth. They get a lot of, their footprint is big. And on the other hand, I've also seen the opposite. I've seen people who are highly competent, very, very competent, but sharp tongue, sarcastic, talking down to people. They think it's smart. It's not smart, it's very stupid. You make the fellow in front of you look like a fool. He may laugh because, at that point in time, what else to do? He's in a spot, so he will laugh. He's not laughing inside. He does not. Who likes to be made a fool? Tell me. Anybody? You lost the guy. Nice joke. You just lost potentially a good contact. Potentially a good friend you lost because of your joke. Nice joke. Get along with people. Getting along is absolutely critical. And then concern for commons. In many of our countries, what do we have? People live in big mansions, and outside the wall of the mansion is a garbage dump. And then you complain, the municipal corporation is so bad. They don't clear the garbage. You ask them, where did the garbage come from? It grows in the street? Did someone bring garbage from Washington, D.C. and put in your house? That garbage comes from your house. You take it and dump it over the wall. Then you say the municipal corporation should... So, commons. You see something, teach them. You see something on the floor, somebody's thrown something, pick it up. Take it and put it in the right place, in the waste bin or whatever it is. You do that, they'll do it. They learn it. And the last and most important, akhlaq mu'amilat. I used to live in the US. I live again there now, but I used to live in the US in 97, 2000. So 2000 I came back to India. My father was not well, so I came back to be with him. And then I stayed for 20 years. Then I I went back in 2019. Anyway, so I came back and we had a flat which we were renovating when we came to move into that flat. So we were renovating that flat. And as part of the renovation, we wanted to put a water tank on top of the roof. So the plumber, the guy who came and did the plumbing work, and it was quite extensive plumbing work, was a guy with a big beard like this. And he said, I'm Hafiz Quran, I'm from Yemen, and so on and so on. So I was very happy. Alhamdulillah, he's a Muslim guy. I am very happy to give him this job. And he is Hafiz of the Quran and so on. Alhamdulillah. So he finished all the work, and I told him, get me a 1,000 liter syntax tank, plastic tank, for the roof, and install it. He brought the tank. Then the building people, the committee, they said, we have a rule here, you cannot put a 1,000 liter tank, you have to put only 500 liters. It's okay. I told the guy, take this back, get a 500 liter tank. He did that also. He brought the tank, gave it. Now I had given him the money for the 1,000 liter tank. So the 500 liter tank, the money was some 3,000 rupees less. He did the work. Now he owes me 3,000 rupees. He disappeared. Now obviously 3,000 rupees won't kill me. But I thought to myself that, at least I owe it to him that I should give him the opportunity to return the money. Right? Maybe I'll give it to him for free, but I don't want him to be a thief. So I called him once, I called him twice, I called him 3 times, and I felt stupid calling him for some 3,000 rupees. I said, what the hell? I mean, alhamdulillah, I can afford that. It's nothing. But I called him. Finally, I thought to myself, okay, one last call. By then, it was Ramadan. So when I call him now, his wife picks up the phone. She says, he is in itikaf, he cannot talk. Yeah? So you steal somebody's money and you go into itikaf and you cannot talk. This is our akhlaq. These are our ma'amilat. We must be the point is, people watch. A job that is given to a Muslim must be super quality by default, because you are a Muslim, who works or should work for the pleasure of Allah, who works or should work with the knowledge that everything I do, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching that, He knows that 24/7, and I have to answer Him. Because that is your aqidah, that's not the aqidah of anybody else. Our aqidah, your and my aqidah is what? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is watching us 24/7. And I have to answer to Allah no matter what. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you take away somebody's right, Allah will not forgive you until that person forgives you. And this is irrespective of whether the person is a Muslim or non-Muslim, doesn't matter. Muslims are not allowed to be unjust to non-Muslims. You can't say, no, I'm stealing only from the Christians. No, you're not supposed to steal, period. No matter who. Right? Very important. Muamilat is, this is where, may Allah forgive us, this is where we Muslims, we get into trouble all the time. Because of our muamilat, our dealings. We must change that. Because remember, see something. We are having this gathering here. How many non-Muslims are here? Nobody. But when you drive on the road, I mean, in Kuwait there are not that many, but still there are quite a number. But if you go to any other country, almost everybody else is non-Muslim. But they are seeing you there. Alhamdulillah, mashallah, you look like a Muslim, right? Your appearance and all that, they can recognize you as a Muslim and say, there you go. This is how Muslims drive. I know it's an unfair statement, what else do you expect them to say? What else do you expect them to say? So this is a great opportunity for us, that we live in pluralistic societies, we live in multicultural societies. It's a brilliant opportunity for us to showcase Islam, to show that this is Islam. You want someone to behave responsibility, ask a Muslim. You want someone to give more than what they take, ask a Muslim. You want someone to give you quality work, ask a Muslim. You want someone to come and help you in the middle of the night, call a Muslim. This is the message that we should give. Then believe me, the same people who may be opposing you today will come out in your defense if somebody else accuses you of anything. But we have to work for it. I won't even repeat the stories of the Seerah. All of you know the stories. There are so many stories of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his behavior with ordinary people on a daily basis. We are not talking about rituals of worship, we are talking about ordinary things. The woman who used to throw garbage in his way, and the other lady whose saman, whose things he carried to the to the caravan station, and so on and so on and so on. Many, many things. The Jewish boy who used to work, who used to be around him, and then he was dying. So many stories, one after the other. And of people like who were the followers of Rasulullah. Abdullah bin Mubarak, rahmatullahi alayhi, one of the greatest of the Tabi'in, he was called the Rais ul Tabi'in, him and Abdullah bin Mubarak and Hasan Basri. Rahmatullahi alayhim, they were called the princes of the Tabi'un because of their akhlaq. So Abdullah bin Mubarak had a Jewish neighbor, and they said to him, he's selling his house, he's put his house up for sale. He said, why? He says, he needs money. And then they said, he is put up as a price, he's quoting double the market value. So say the house is worth $100,000, he's saying $200,000. So people asked him and said, why is this house double the market value? He said, do you know who's my neighbor? Huh? Do you know who will be your neighbor if you buy this house? He said, who? It's Abdullah bin Mubarak. Abdullah bin Mubarak as a neighbor is worth the price of the house. Can you believe it? The man charges, he said, double the money because you are going to get this man as a neighbor. That's worth money in the market. Abdullah bin Mubarak went to him, he told him, don't go anywhere, you need the money, I will loan you the money, you can pay me back or don't pay me back, you stay here, I want you as my neighbor. Don't sell the house. Huh? We must really look at ourselves. Akhlaq and muamalat. As I keep saying all the time, children listen with their eyes, not with their ears. They don't care what you say until they see what you do. This is true for everybody, but definitely children. So the qualities of the Muslim, one, truthfulness and integrity. The qualities of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, as-sadiqul ameen, truthful and trustworthy. So truthfulness and integrity, sense of responsibility and accountability to Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala, courage, physical courage, moral courage, the ability to stand for others, help others, and husnul khuluq, good manners and good character. Because people remember, they don't remember what you said, they don't remember what you did, but they will remember how you made them feel. That they won't forget. Living the message, this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned this about His Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, once he was sitting with some friends and he asked them this question. He said, make a wish. Ask Allah for whatever you wish. So somebody said, I wish this house was full of gold so I could spend it in the path of Allah. And somebody else said, something else, and full of pearls and gems and so on and so on. And then they asked Sayyidina Umar, they said, what do you wish? He said, I wish for men like Abu Ubaidah ibn al-Jarrah and Mu'adh bin Jabal and Salim Mawla Abu Huzaifa, who would help me to glorify the word of Allah. So he's saying people of character are worth more than a house full of gold. One person, Abu Ubaidah, radiallahu anhu, Ajmain. One person. Khalid bin Walid, one person. What is the value of that person? Right? And that is what you have. This is the thing which you have in your hand. So when you're raising children, don't think about, oh, this kid is like this. No, this is your time to create an asset for the whole world and for yourself. That little kid is not some little kid running around. This little kid is potentially a future Abu Ubaidah. And likewise, potentially that Abu Ubaidah one day at some point in his life was a little kid running around. But something their parents did. I was in Masjid Nabawi the other day. As I told you, I came yesterday, so I was there 2 days ago. After Salatul Fajr, I'm sitting there, and I see this little boy, literally this big. So that boy could not be more than about maybe 6 years old, or something, 6 to 7 years old. His white soap, ghotra, all ironed properly. He has a little bag in his hand, and he is carrying 2 or 3 rahals. So it's a little kid, all this is kind of managing all this weight. I think, where is this kid going? I see that they have halaqas in Masjid Nabawi after Salatul Fajr. So there is the teacher sitting there, and all these kids, they're sitting in a circle in front of the teacher, and they are reciting Quran to him. And all of them are 6, 7 years old. But every one of them beautifully turned out. They're not there in some shorts and some funny t-shirts. No. They're all there. And after Ishraq, the teacher calls one of them, writes on a slip of paper. I followed them to see what's happening. They go to one place in Masjid Nabawi Sharif where from the government they are given little plastic packs of cakes or bread and a drink. So the teacher sends, I've got 10 children or 15 children. That guy, he puts all that into 15 into a bag, gives it. This kid brings it here. The teacher distributes it. They have their breakfast, and then they continue the class. I thought to myself, subhanallah, we hear these stories about Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi, for example. Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi, his mother used to dress him up, tie an amama on his head, turban on his head, and she would take him at Salatul Fajr. Imagine, to do all this, she has to wake up the child much earlier. Imam Malik, at that time, maybe about 5 years old. She takes this 5-year-old kid, ties an amama, nice thobe and all that, takes him to Masjid Nabawi, and hands him over to his teacher, Rabiatul Rai, rahmatullah alayh, and she tells him, she says, take from the adab of Rabia before you take from his ilm. Learn manners from him before you learn knowledge. Take from his adab before you take from his knowledge. I thought to myself, alhamdulillah, this tradition of Imam Malik is still alive in Masjid Nabawi Sharif, where he was the Imam. The reason I'm saying this is because you can do it here. That's how it starts. Now imagine those kids, those little ones who are sitting there learning Quran from the teacher and so on, what kind of manners they will have, how they will grow up, what is their orientation towards life, That's where they're starting. And as I said, if you live it, you don't have to say it. That is why tarbiyah is the most important gift that you can give to a child. Is to raise them well, raise them strong. Jazakumullahu khairan. Those are my contact details. Most welcome to email me as you wish.